Our consciousness is the lens through which we perceive and create our world. When we shift our mindset, we fundamentally alter the reality we experience and the world we co-create with others. This isn't mysticism, it's practical psychology. Our beliefs filter perception, shaping what we notice, how we respond, and what we attract. A pessimist sees obstacles. An optimist sees opportunities in the same situation. Both exist in the same world, yet inhabit entirely different realities. When we collectively elevate our consciousness, we birth new possibilities. Movements for justice, sustainability, and compassion began as shifts in human thinking. Someone imagined a different world and others joined that vision, transforming it into tangible change. Changing perspective requires intention. We must examine inherited beliefs, question limiting narratives, and consciously choose thoughts aligned with the world we wish to create. This internal work ripples outward. Our energy influences others. Our choices impact systems. Our vision inspires action. The new earth emerges not through external force alone, but through millions choosing expanded awareness. When we recognize our interconnectedness, our power as creators, and our responsibility to future generations, we naturally make different choices. Reality is not fixed. It's a collaborative creation between consciousness and existence. By elevating our awareness, we don't escape this world, we transform it. The revolution begins within, manifesting without. This is how new consciousness births new earth. A profound truth. Humanity has long operated within systems designed to concentrate power while dispersing consciousness. These structures thrive on manufactured scarcity, perpetual anxiety, and the subtle conditioning that external authorities hold dominion over our lives. The mechanism is elegant in its simplicity. By embedding fear into survival itself, through economic systems, health narratives, and social hierarchies, we voluntarily surrender our inherent sovereignty. We become obedient not through chains, but through internalized beliefs about our own powerlessness. Yet from a higher vantage point, the illusion becomes transparent. True authority has never been external. It has always resided within the collective consciousness. The system holds no power, except what we continuously grant it through compliance and belief. We are the workers, creators, and believers who animate these structures with our energy. The shift happens when consciousness recognizes this fundamental inversion. We are not subjects requiring permission, we are the source. When enough individuals withdraw consent, not violently, but through conscious disengagement and the creation of alternative systems, the old paradigm loses its life force. This isn't rebellion, it's remembrance. It's recognizing that the frequency of fear, stress, and survival is a choice, not an inevitability. Rising to a higher frequency means reclaiming our creative power, trusting our collective wisdom, and building systems that reflect our actual values rather than those imposed upon us. The spell breaks when we simply remember who we truly are. The true liberation isn't won through resistance, but through irrelevance. When you cease to operate within the system's frequency, you don't defeat it, you simply step beyond its reach. The system requires participation, compliance, and opposition alike. All feed its existence. But when you withdraw your energy entirely, when you tune to a different wavelength altogether, the machinery loses function. This is the paradox. Fighting the system strengthens it. Your rebellion becomes its validation, proof of its power. The real transgression is indifference, a way of being so fundamentally misaligned that the system cannot even recognize you as a threat because you're no longer playing in its dimension. Consider consciousness as frequency. The system broadcasts on specific channels, designed to capture attention. through anger, fear, ambition, or righteous opposition. But what if you simply change stations, not defiantly, but naturally, as one who has found a different music? This isn't escapism or passivity, it's an active retuning. You build new structures, new ways of relating, new economies of meaning that operate on entirely different principles. The old box becomes transparent, purposeless, a relic no one remembers inhabiting. The most radical act isn't to fight what is, but to become what could be. To exist in such a way the old architecture cannot contain you, not because you're strong enough to break free, but because you're no longer made of the same material it was designed to hold. The old machinery grinds to a halt, not with a bang, but with a collective exhale. The awakened ones feel it first, that persistent itch beneath the surface, the uncanny sense that everything familiar is a stage set, and the curtain is finally rising. The 9 to 5 was never about living. It was about existing in controlled increments. Clock in, clock out, trade hours for survival. But consciousness doesn't negotiate with spreadsheets. Those still bound to this rhythm aren't evil. They're simply asleep in a comfortable bed, unaware of the door standing open. The news cycles, the political theater, the manufactured crises and curated trends, they're all frequencies designed to keep attention fragmented, energy scattered, wars fought over resources that abundance could render obsolete, elections that shuffle the same deck, commercials selling solutions to problems created by the very system selling them. Those who see through this errand, superior, they're simply tuned to a different wavelength. The falseness becomes unbearable once perceived. You can't unhear the discord in a symphony you finally recognize as off-key. But here's the acceleration. Consciousness is contagious. Each awakened soul vibrates at a higher frequency, and that frequency ripples outward. The more who rise, the faster the illusion destabilizes. Reality itself begins to shift, not because the world changes, but because the collective awareness experiencing it transforms. We're not entering a new chapter. We're becoming the authors. The modern work system demands we surrender our finite days to machines that measure productivity in metrics, leaving our spirits depleted and our potential unfulfilled. We've normalized trading decades for paychecks, accepting that exhaustion is the price of survival. By the time we're free, our bodies are worn, our dreams deferred, and our authentic selves buried beneath layers of compliance. Yet this isn't inevitable. A revolution begins within each of us, a conscious choice to reclaim our time and redefine success beyond corporate metrics. It means questioning inherited narratives about what we should do and creating space for what truly matters: genuine connection, meaningful work aligned with our values, and presence with those we love. This shift requires courage. It demands we examine our dependencies, reduce unnecessary consumption, and build communities where resources and labor are shared authentically. It means valuing rest as radical, creativity as currency, and human dignity over profit margins. The hollow feeling many experience signals our misalignment with our deepest nature. We're meant for connection, purpose, and autonomy, not servitude. When we honor these needs in ourselves, we naturally extend that respect to others, creating ripples of transformation. Real change starts with small acts, boundaries around work hours, investments in relationships, pursuit of passions, and support for those awakening to these truths. Together, we can build systems rooted in love, respect, and harmony, where human flourishing, not extraction, is the ultimate measure of success. We stand at a crossroads where individual awakening must transform into collective consciousness. The systems designed to fragment us, fear, competition, scarcity, thrive when we remain isolated. convinced we must survive alone. But evolution demands something different. A new Earth emerges not from personal enlightenment alone, but from synchronized hearts beating the same rhythm of truth. When enough of us vibrate at this frequency, the old architecture of control simply cannot sustain itself. It requires our participation, our fragmentation, our fear. True liberation isn't escaping the system while others remain trapped. That's merely rearranging chains. Real transformation happens when we recognize the inheritance we've received. Centuries of pain, manipulation, broken systems, and decide it ends with us, not through our withdrawal but through our unified presence. This requires radical vulnerability and trust. It means setting aside the armor of self-preservation and remembering we are not separate. Your healing is my healing. Your awakening strengthens mine. The collective consciousness rises only when we choose interdependence over isolation. The darkness thrives on division. Light expands through connection. We must become beacons for one another, holding space as others awaken, refusing to judge those still sleeping. Every person who shifts their frequency ripples outward, touching countless others. The time isn't coming, it's here. The new Earth forms not in some distant future, but in every moment we choose unity, compassion, and conscious collaboration. Together, we are unstoppable. Thank you so much for watching. I truly hope this video resonated with you and provided some valuable insights. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to leave a comment below. Until next time, take care and see you in the next video.